Flames at the gate, mud on every log. But Hetty at the porch trail with a broom and iron pan said, if you want my yard, boys, come take it if you can. Her son had a splitting maul, her daughter had a pole. The goblins came in snarling for the hens and beetroot row. They locked up through the nettles, they clambered at the stairs. But Hetty raised her lantern and laughed right in their ears. Then the young girls in the house started singing clear and high through the shuttered window panes like sparks against the sky. The whole old beams replied, and every goblin footstep clock lost its nerve outside. For the mark, drive them from the yard. For the mark, strike them hard, strike hard. Hetty on the porch and the children at her side. For the mark, let the cowards run and hide. The first one slipped on turnip peel, the second coughed the rake. The third met son and daughter and learned what iron makes. They tumbled through the mud bank like sacks in a threshing round. And the girls inside kept singing till even the rafters rang out proud. Then the young girls in the house started singing clear and high through the shuttered window panes like sparks against the sky. Hold fast, the whole old beams replied, and every goblin footstep lost its nerve outside. Oh hell, let's go live fast. Okay, I'm gonna do a test real quick of something. We're gonna check, see what happens. I'm gonna double check. Because what I'm doing is I'm seeing if we're getting a recursion, which I'm hoping we don't, but I think we will. So I'm double checking. I mean, it's just a check real quick to see what's going on. So, oh, wait, you're not hearing my music in the background. Good. Anyway, so I got a thing for music in the background when I work, because, you know, hey. But anyway, so I finally got it solved. And it's not when I'm checking the settings, it's not doubling up. That's good to know. Anyway, so I know that it's late. Usually I do the Sundays before an hour. Well, actually, no. Usually I don't wake up till about now. But anyway, we're going to do a short one. Not too long. But what we're going to talk about... Oops. Come on. There we go. Ooh, I better plug this in. That's why it's beeping at me. Anyway, so last time we were discussing about what we need to do is add. What we really need to do is add the races. But I really wish I kind of wish I really need to put up a poll and find out what you guys want, because I want to do stuff you guys want, because it's the fun thing. But I don't know, so hey. So anyway, I guess this is it's not only world building, it's also DMing. So why don't we pop this up
Hey, maybe he's got porn. Oh my god, I don't know what I'd fucking do. No, I don't watch porn, so. Used to, but not bored with it. Actually, no, it turned kind of gross, but, got real gross. But, anyway. I've covered making religions. I've covered making God, putting gods down. I've covered a lot of stuff so far. Not all of the videos are available, so probably I'm going to redo Ironmark again for a third time and make sure the videos don't get lost. Because, hey, right? I mean, but, planetology, I like going through stuff, but, I'm not really sure what you guys want to see, because, yeah. But let's jump to the Pathfinder customizing your game. And, the big thing about it is customizing your world. There are a lot of things that you will need to learn to grab a hold of as a DM. I have a checklist that I go down, and I'll make one real quick to show it to you. There's a checklist you should always make for yourself, right? Leaving, let's see, outside. Now, the first thing you should determine when the characters go outside, what time is it? What is the weather like? What is the date? Okay? If applicable, how is the campsite roads? A lot of DMs miss this. A lot of DMs forget this. I mean, I was a player in a game once, and I looked at the DM, I was like, hey, what's the weather like outside? And he looks out the window, he goes, oh, it's sunny. I said, no, in the game. And they locked the fuck up. That is one fun thing. AI, you have people, I don't let my GM use AI. It's like, fuck you, buddy. That's one thing AI can be used to, is to help you make weather charts that are, that hang together, that, are actually decent. I've got one. I came up with the basics of it and then ran logic checks and stuff. But, I should probably take a look. Damn, I cannot. My restream thing isn't working right. But, glad caught live stream finally. Sitting here waiting for coding on familiar for AD&D 1E. Okay. The Dungeon Delver is on Twitch. Twitter. And he's been working on this 1E. On a 1E computer program that will handle a lot of stuff for your game. If you play 1E AD&D, I cannot recommend it any more higher. I mean, from the work he's done and from what I have seen, it is absolutely amazing. I got asked what map tools I use besides Roll20, and I was like, X paper and a pen. And I have Campaign Cartographer 2. Actually, I have Campaign Cartographer 1 CD somewhere. 2, and I have 3. Dungeon Designer 3, City Designer 3. I got all that good stuff. But this is the best I found because, hey, brain damage. Campaign Cartographer is expensive as fuck, but extremely powerful. But it's definitely starting to show its age, and they haven't really updated it. There's a few others that have come up recently that are decent, that I should probably learn how to use. One of them, Incarnate, has a lot of promise. It's just, I'm fucking broke. Yeah, and when you're broke. I mean, it's 30, it's Incarnate is 30, Creator is $39 a year, Studio is, $80 a year. I just don't have it right now. Commercial, they'd want, to be fair, I would have to use the studio version because it would be they would consider commercial use. And of course, you can do it by month, $8 a month or $15 a month. I'd love to be able to because, it makes beautiful world maps, but then I'd only be using it for this because I kind of had to quit DMing for a little while because my brain's so twitchy right now. And I do appreciate very much Fox, my DM. Appreciate it. Riffs, yay. But I don't really know what you guys want. You know what? Why don't we go through a few things? In the Game Master section here, it has advanced topics. When to design, when not to design. Chases. Disasters. Drugs and addiction. This is in the GM's guide. A lot of people say, Pathfinder doesn't have any depth. I have 5. You don't have all the books. Trust me. There is not a single fucking system. Pathfinder, the first Pathfinder has a lot of shit. Problem is you gotta buy a lot of books. That's what really turns a lot of people off is the amount of books you gotta buy to get the complete thing. But hey, it's up to you. For those of you running dungeon games, I gotta say, somebody sent me that Rubik's Cube dungeon thing. And my wife took one look at that and said, "You will sleep on the couch for the rest of your life if you use that fucking thing on me." Probably the most asshole-ish thing I ever did for D&D was I made a Mobius strip dungeon, and I thought the party mapper was going to have a stroke. Because I made it so you could go over the sides, too. So his map just didn't make any sense. And he's like, I don't mind it not doing mapping. You go to conventions and vendors sell Pathfinder by the foot or by the pound. They do. You go to a convention and you can pick up the original Pathfinder 1E very, very inexpensively. And I can't. It was back when the guys doing Pathfinder knew what the fuck they were doing. It's not this modern shit. I hate Pathfinder 2E with a passion. I bought the books and I threw them away. But I would love to see what you do with. I'd love to see what you do with that thing when you're done. Thank you, darling.
Hope you like it.
Appreciate it. My daughter just brought me vegetable stir fry with garden vegetables from her garden. So hey. Yeah. Okay. Well, some of the vegetables are from her garden. But Mobius Dungeons. I also did a Tesseract. My wife was in that game for the Tesseract. That drove the group fucking crazy. That was actually fun. I made a graph paper square, 3D square, and then I added squares to the sides of the squares, and then I mapped it, and they went in that thing. Oh, the party mapper was like, "I'm gonna have to kill you, aren't I?" I was like, "Probably." Okay, but Okay, advanced topics. Customizing your game. It's not going as deep as I wanted to, so, I mean, for basics, all you need for Pathfinder is like the core book and the first monster book. But grab the DM's guide, because it's got all kinds of good shit. But we're going to go over... it's got the creating the world, which, it's an okay version. It's not going to win any awards. But, the first thing it says, define the settings, tools of trade, building a city. You just got to figure out what you're going to need. No. I stated that we're going to do, what's that called? Races. So, why don't we start with the most difficult one. That's my backup game, not Twitch. Oh, see. Yes, these are the Uma girls. Alright. If you know what an Uma is, it is a horse girl. They don't have males. An Uma female has about a 50-50 chance of throwing a Uma girl or a human girl. Once in a while, you'll have a Uma girl crop up in a human line because there's an Uma way back there. They're not enough populated, and that 50-50 blows it to outpopulate humans. They can breed with humans. Actually, that's how they breed. The big thing we have is they're modeled after horses. But the whole thing is you need to lean into it. You need to lean into the whole lore behind them. Especially, the game's pretty derby. I love the cartoon. I love the show. I love the game. I know I'm a sucker in my old age. But when you're designing a race, it's you really got to balance stuff. When could you get me on the show? Drop me. Hell. Not today. I mean, whatever you want, just let me know. But the big thing is, you got to have these girls. They've got to be able to run. You need to have that. So firstly, obviously, we're looking at the stat adjustments. Now, I have found, okay, Umas are supposedly a lot stronger, but than humans because of their musculature. I mean, if you went completely by the lore, they'd be +2 strength, +4 con. And believe it or not, +2 charisma, because they're all beauties. Of course, I'm not a fan of horses. They bite me. But they don't like me for some reason. I don't know why. They just run up and bite me. I used to do them when I was a teenager. They don't so much now. But a horse is a beautiful creature. It is. Probably my inner farm boy. But what you do is you drop his... You do that. See, whenever they do this, they always tell you, always boost it by 2. Always boost it by 2, because that way they're getting a +1 to their bonuses. No, and stop being a fucking weirdo. These are the same idiots that'll tell you when you're making a character, always make sure that everything is even. Okay, no. What you do is you throw a couple odds in there, because that way when you level up, and you hit the point where you get an attribute point, then you can move from like a +2 to a +3 or a +1 to a +2. And it gives you a little more mobility. But that would involve, thinking beyond 10 seconds. Now, if you do this, You were adding to all the things. Now, horses are beautiful, but they're fucking clumsy. If you ever owned a horse or had to deal with them, they're fucking clumsy. But you go strength, dexterity, constitution. You can do this. Here's what you're going to have to do to balance it out. Intelligence and wisdom -2. Horses don't have good willpower. That's why they're beasts of burden. You can do that. Well, that's a little overdone. People would say that. No. Here's the rule. See, the soft attributes: intelligence, wisdom, charisma, which I would argue none of them are your dumb stats, but hey, are only are half the price of the hard ones: strength, dexterity, constitution. Okay, because dexterity affects your ability to hit, not to be hit, and your reflex save. Strength, hit, how hard you hit. Constitution, how many hit points you have, and resisting and fortitude. Now, here's the thing: your intelligence is your skill points, how many skill points you rack up. Wisdom is your willpower save. And charisma, if you're a spellcaster, depending on the spellcaster, might be your primary stat. Now, by doing this, it balances out. The -2 dex balances out the +2 con. The -2 intelligence balances out the +1 strength. And the -2 charisma, so we can jump that. +2. There. Now she's balanced. Then, not exactly a big fan, but then we're going to hit something. What are her free feats? Running. Changes. Speed +10. Speed is 40. Congratulations, you've got a Numa. Now restriction. Female only? No. Spontaneous casters only. If you play the game, you know that the science ones and stuff, they're considered freaks. They're very much more gold ship than the girl with the flappy sleeves that I can't stand. I'm a gold ship. I love gold ship. To me, she's fucking hilarious. I guess that's why I like the show. Number 1, cute girls. Number 2, former distance runner. I can appreciate what they do. Hey George, I can appreciate the running the girls do. So we've got the girls, and I hope this is big enough to see easily. But anyway, so right there. Now how do they fit in society? Well, in Ironmark, which is one of the only, let's see, Ironmark is one of the few nations where are considered full citizens and not a slave race. It's a reason for them to be an Ironmark. I actually give them a disadvantage. Bane. Okay. They're runners. So, Army Scouts, mail service, package delivery. There you go. Not likely, extremely unlikely to be adventurers. Other would be wary of the crazy person in their midst. Bane and fragile legs. If an Uma's leg is injured, via trap, magic, combat. They heal 2 to 3 times as slowly with a double normal percentage chance of permanent crippling. Okay, we put it due to their strength and running tendencies, Uma knees, hocks, and ankles are easily injured, and they can develop shin splints and bone spurs easily in their 20s. Umas rarely race past their 20s. Alright. Umas enjoy finery. Their vanity makes it so that clothing and accoutrements need to be at least high quality. Yeah. And Uma will eat budget food in order to afford a nicer purse or boots. There. Now, like most things in RPGs, if the DM is not going to pay attention to any of the bad stuff, then they're overpowered. They're overpowered because of their speed, and they get the running feat for free. But, fairly simple design. As a matter of fact, we can go a little bit better to their ears. Changes. Speed 40, plus 1 perception for hearing. Actually, no, plus 2. And plus 2 perception for hearing. Trying to think of any other skill. Nope. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you, a lot of you mentioned DMing advice. Notice what these guys are wearing. Notice what these girls are wearing. Jewelry. I have a rule in my game. People who have played with me have heard this rule applied. For female characters that are vain, sorceresses, witches, and that like, if they take the vain, or if they take it as a disadvantage, their jewelry does not count toward their wealth per level. And if the group gives non-magical jewelry to that character, it does not count. It counts as if basically if they got it, basically as if they'd sold it. So, and it's a way to allow, it's a way to encourage. But if you sell it, it immediately counts. Usually, you have good players, and they'll respect that because there's just something about having characters that have jewelry instead of looking like fucking hobos. Hello, Marty. But too many have, no jewelry. I have had my wife's characters. And Kat's characters have been absolutely ridiculous on jewelry sometimes. I want that dress. I want that jewelry. It was one campaign, they found like a 3,000 gold piece necklace. And my wife and Kat argued over it, who would get it. And they settled it with a die roll because both their characters wanted it. And of course, I compromise, doesn't count against your wealth per level. Because I want to encourage, that stuff. And since it was a 1E game, it was like, okay, I'm going to act as if you guys sold it. And I told Kat, if you sell this, I will immediately deduct the XP. And so, when we quit that campaign, we had to quit that campaign because the person playing our fighter was having difficulty and she had difficulty getting in there and, fighting. First deed, you can't have your fighter hang back, even if you want them to. You gotta get in there. I mean, you gotta get in there and fucking fight. And they needed to, because they were doing some serious modules. I think at the time they were just finishing up the Slavers series, and they really needed their fighter to get in there and fight. Anyway, yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna do the Incarnate thing. Watch a few videos on how to use it, and Tuesday we'll get an idea of how well it worked. Crap! I did what I usually do. Yeah. Why? Because. But anyway. Now we also had. I want to do mouse girls, and I stated of the non-human races, of the animal races, of the beast races, the beast races. There are two of them that do not have males, and that is the Umas and the Mouse Girls. Both lost them. We're not really sure because we haven't really done the history, but we're just going through it. The Mouse Girls lost them. I did a big thing when I was designing for the new game I was running. I was going to run, which I really like. It's a low point in Cinna Valley. It's really cool. Players are having fun. Very, very difficult. They wanted to be very careful with combat. They didn't want to get in combat too hard because when you're using a 15-point buy, you don't want to get in there swinging because all it takes is one bad roll and you're fucked. There's the rat girls. Yeah, the cat girls. Oh, there's the mouse girls. So, yeah, I made the mouse girls. So, one thing is they're going to be timid. Mouse girls. Okay? So, number one, we have strength. Dex. You know what? To this day, I still do it. Strength, intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, charisma. Because I'm a dumbass. Wisdom, charisma. Okay. A house girl does not have good strength. So we can put a -2 right there. But they are industrious. They're dexterous little things. You ever try to catch a mouse? They're fast and they're nimble. Constitution, leave it at 0. They're fragile looking, but their comp makes it up for it. Intelligence, mice are smart. So we're going to see something you rarely fucking see. Actually, we're gonna dust their con for a minute. We'll leave their wisdom alone. We'll leave their con alone. Actually, no, we're gonna adjust their. Now, you know what? Mice are very social. Charisma is also your social. I liked that in AD&D 2.5 when they split up the stats, which was so cool. They split up the stats, and that was like the greatest fucking thing ever. You can only have a maximum of 4-point difference between the stats. But I mean, they moved charisma into comeliness and basically charisma. But so the mouse girls are like that. We'll give them a higher perception. Just in general. They don't really need a feat. Perception +2. Going through. Oh. Climb. +2. Well, +1. Feats. Reflexes. It's a reflex feat. But we're also gonna +1 to reflex saves. There. Feats, fast reflexes. Master reflexes are combat reflexes. Player choice. Okay, we're gonna put it. +1 to reflex saves, -1 to will saves. And we do this by saying, everyone, mouse girls are timid and safety conscious. They are rarely adventurers, fearing predators, traps, other adventurers, and large bird creatures. These are human sized, but you know. And right there, we've got our mouse girls, and they're nicely balanced. Okay, they're not very strong. Matter of fact, we're going to be a little more penalizing. Sorry, girls. They're timid and safety conscious. Now, these are what anybody is going to go. These are, but Ralts, these are obviously NPC races. Well, you know what? You're right. But I mean, you can practically hear them all nervous on whether or not they're going to get to the sale in time. You know, I mean, that one on the right, she's just really afraid she forgot it, whether or not she forgot her purse back at the other store. I mean, yeah, if they have I've actually done that. You know, an advantage on perception means sirens could sucker them faster. What you do is you extend out the. I've actually found this works. You extend out the range of the siren song by 5 feet per +1. If I'm running an asshole game, which that one is, we're still going to go back to it, guys. But that 15-point game, I can legitimately tell them, harpies and sirens and the like that depend Sonic. If you have a natural perception bonus, then which none of them do, but you would suffer a 5 foot per +1 extension on the area effect, or even +10. Actually, because the way their ears are shaped, we could put that in there. It's actually a neat one. You think outside the box on some of this stuff. Sensitive hearing results in sound-based abilities such as harpy or siren song have double range. That's their fear of big birds. And then let's see. Oh, let's do since we're already doing the mouse girls, let's see if we can find the rat girls. They're in here somewhere. They're above the mouse girls, I remember that. That's the the rat girls. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, you can easily mistake the rat girls. No. Rat girls are 90% of the time domestics. They prefer to be domestics. We should probably put that in there. They prefer to be domestics. They prefer to be domestics and servants, relying on their employer or house to protect them. Mouse girls will flee from encounters whenever possible. Mouse girl mages are extremely rare. Oh, the rat folk. Strength, dexterity, con, Intelligence, wisdom, dex, charisma. Yeah. Rats are very, very, again, social creatures. I've seen a lot of them. You know, rats have a negative charisma because, you know, why? These people are thinking of filthy New York or Paris alley rats, not, you know, well-kempt, clean, social rats. Even those rats are social. Now, here's where we can make it different. Again, you go -2, but rats are pretty dexterous, but not on the level of mice. Yeah, but hey, go +1, +1, -2. It is somewhat balanced. Disadvantage. Vain. Curious. Willpower -1. They'll get the reflex bonus because that's in their deck. They're not quite as quick as the mouse girls. Now, rat folk are very community oriented and very social rank conscious. Knowledge, nobility, +1. When was the last time you saw that for class? Yeah. Rat folk prefer finer things in life and often use possessions as social, not projecting, social, not just, damn it, I just had the word. As a social, kind of presentation. But, there's a, let's see. Blood for the mark. I did, like I said before, I did some music for Ironmark, including the Witch's Lament album, and really like it. It came out really well to the point that I actually listened to it on my headset because it came out so well. I guess I'm my own best fan. I don't know. Then we move to Cat Girls. Now see, it's funny because everybody's like, "Oh, you know, cat girls are from, you know," they act like this shit is new. You know, that it's new and it's polluting the hobby. There were fucking cat folk in 1E. There were cat folk and dog folk in 1E. You know, it's like, you better step the fuck off with this lying bullshit. Charisma, no change. Because I've seen some ugly ass cats. I got an ugly cat. I love her dearly, but she's ugly. And especially she took a really hard hit to the face and it knocked out like half her teeth and blinded her in one eye. And her jaw's crooked now. Took her to the vet. She had to be fed through a tube for like 2 weeks. Poor thing. And she's just ugly. But I love her. Strength, no change. Dex, of course, they're going to get the plus, actually. But we're going to go -2 con, because cats are very prone to stuff. I'm also going to go with a -2 wisdom because their curiosity gets them in trouble. So, disadvantage. Curious to a deadly point. Not stupid, just curious. Feet. Combat reflexes or quick reflexes. Catfolk. View adventures as helping their family with fame and fortune. Like most of the beast races, they are obsessed with social hierarchy. Of the beast folk, they are obsessed with clan standing and social hierarchy. I spell it wrong, but I don't fucking care. I mean, as long as you balance them out, I mean, I love this picture because, you know, these are obviously nobles. And you rarely see this in D&D games. I mean, we've been stuck with the same goddamn dwarves, elves, since time immemorial. I like elves. I really do. As far as an author or DM or game designer goes, I don't like the immortal ones. The immortal ones give you problems. So, there are ways around it. I actually did, I think I showed it in another stream. But you start applying math. And yeah, that was something to see. First thing you do is you go, sadly, right now, none of the beast folk live much further than 30. And unfortunately, their young are very self-sufficient very quickly. Now, what that shows is a lot of people think, oh, you know, the supreme race, their young would be able to fight hand-to-hand combat with 1,000 cannibals within minutes of birth. No. See, orc babies are like that. You know, goblin babies are like that. And that's why their fucking cultures are trash. Children depending on the adults is directly correlated scientifically to social interactions. So the beast folk have lesser, but they still get good social interactions because it's a percentage of their lives. If we say that the cat folk live, say the cat folk, we'll say, okay, the mouse girls, we'll say they live 25 years. We'll say humans live to 100. Cat folk, you know, it's a fourth of their lives. They only live this fourth as long. So in order to compensate let's say by 8, well, that's a third of their life. It'd be the equivalent of a 33-year-old person. So you gotta adjust it. Which means you gotta have some maturity at the table. Having these cat ladies right here be fully adults, and they're 8. They're 8 years old. You gotta have some maturity at the table. Because otherwise you end up with the 1,000-year-old, 900-year-old dragon who looks like a Tomlin problem. Oh, I did see something. I saw a comic. It's a guy going, guys, listen to me. She's a 900-year-old. She's a dragon who's really 900 years old, and his friends are going, yeah, we can see that because it's a full-grown dragon ripping up a car. They're like, yeah, dude, we can see she's a dragon. Or you could say, hey, they're not adults till they're 20, and they get 5 to 10 years of adulthood. Well, they're not going to be able to build a society, ever. Their adults don't live long enough. Sorry. Uh, and I know that's a weird thing to say. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, cat girls would be the kind of ladies who put their head down a lit powder keg. If it's been a promotion or a shiny object or social status, yeah, they would literally be the if everybody else jumped off a bridge, would you too? And she'd already be climbing over the railing. Cat Lord is in the original, yeah. 1E. I think the Cat Lord showed up in first edition in the Fiend Folio. Yeah, Fiend Folio Cat Lord. Let's see. Ground Realms Wiki. Yep, they did not originate there. First edition, Dragon Magazine. Let's see, AD&D 1E Cat Races. Let's see, Tabaxi, Feed Folio 1E. That's what I was thinking of. Ow. And the Orionland Ventures, there's the Hengoyaki. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry, you know, Japanese speakers who just had a seizure. But the Tabaxi, there was cat creatures in regular D&D. You know, I think the Tabaxi were originally the Island Dread. But or it was a Rakasta or something like that. I don't know, but you know, they've had cat folk and dog folk since 1E. Don't let them fool you that it's a more recent thing. It's not. Been doing it forever. Yes, yeah. There's that skit where, you know, they walk to the bartender and the bartender lifts up the books and drops it and goes species and age. Which was great. It was absolutely great. Hang on a second. We're gonna go to. It's 53 minutes. We're gonna go to. We're gonna go to this.
By the hedgerow seam, red beet shining like a harvest stream. Mother calls from the linen line, come home before dusk time. But the creek says wait, and the reeds lean near. Every small brown face turns bright with cheer. Summer, summer, berry bowls. Summer, 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 take us whole. Take us whole. Berries on our fingertips, berry bowl. Joy with every sugar kiss. Summer, summer. Down by the water, the minnows flash. We plunge our heels and we make a splash. Little ones chasing the silver pool. Old nets waiting by the mossy pool. My brother casts from the alder root, thin line singing for a shy fish shoot. Then we hide where the willow bends, count to 10 and be found again. Shh, the creek runs clear and the sun runs long. Even little hearts can grow so strong. Summer, summer, berry bowl. Summer, 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 take us whole. Take us whole. Berries on our fingertips, berry bowl. Joy with every sugar kiss. Summer, summer. in the common room, and the night leans in with a honeyed bloom. Two old cups and a shared small smile can turn one glance into a while. By the firefly path, hand in hand, a baker's daughter and a fisher's man. They speak so soft, they speak so near, like the dark itself might bend to hear. Hush now, listen close to the nightly song. Even grown hearts wonder where the bright days belong. A thumb brushes lace, a sleeve finds a sleeve, and the whole room knows what the warm dusk leaves. Summer, summer, berry bowls. Summer, summer. Summer, summer, take us home. Take us home. Berries on our fingertips. Berry bowls. Joy with every sugar kiss. Summer, summer. Summer, summer, creek song bloom. Summer, summer. Summer, summer, me and you. Me and you. Hide and seek till stars appear. Hide and seek. Then love walks home through firefly dear. Summer, summer. I have walked the winter woodland where we carved our names in oak. I have asked the frost and fallen leaves if they recall your cloak. The bark has long since swallowed every letter that we made, but I remember every morning as the memories refuse to fade. I have boiled roots and rosemary and wept into the brew. I have asked the smoke to find you, carry something back from you. It only showed me ashes, it only showed me rain. A witch who knows 1,000 cures has none to cure this pain. Come back to me, come back to me. The candle burns but you don't come. Come back to me, come back to me. My spells fall silent, everyone. I've bent the will of wind and tide. I've called your name to stone, but all my art means nothing, love, when I am here alone. For breaking fevers, roots for mending broken bone. There are words that still the storm, clouds and a charm to find the lost home. But they never taught me, did they, in all my years of craft, how to mend the thing that shatters when the one you love has passed. I still set 2 cups at evening, old habit, I suppose. I still turn toward the doorway when the autumn wind blows. I know the stars, I read the entrails. I walk between the worlds, but I cannot reach the country where...
Anyway, I'm back. screw up? Hang on a second. Yeah, I did. I screwed up. Anyway, okay. So, I wanted to bring up something again that I had mentioned before. If you want to make the way your gnomes and halflings look and everybody else looks be a lot different than your humans, make their eyes solid. I mean, I'm not kidding. It really, really fucks with the way something looks. And I've heard people, oh, it doesn't make that big of a difference. The fuck it doesn't. I mean, it really does fuck with the way something looks. I mean, you make their eyes one solid color, or you make, you make them black. I will do a picture where I'll make her eyes black. And we'll take a look at what it does. And I mean, because I'm not kidding, it completely changes the way your cute little happy creature looks. And you're like, wait, what? That doesn't look right. That don't look like no McDonald's burger. But I mean, immediately your cute little halfling girl, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with her face? And you end up going, that is the weirdest shit I've seen in my life. You can do it black, or you could do it the same color as their eyes, and it's like, wait, what? I mean, it really, really does make a difference. And I love messing with it because I don't know, Now remember, back in the day when they did this stuff, they couldn't really, go for the uncanny valley because, they didn't want people to, kill it with fire. Although, Ravenloft changed that shit. The guy, I love Ravenloft. It's so fucking fun. So much fun with the right group. It's basically hammer horror. I'm gonna hit you with a fucking hammer. How's that sound? I hate that. Oh, the original module has a fucking slide, has a funhouse slide. No, it has a slide that ends in a pit. Where you can all enjoy being dead. Just like Scooby-Doo, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking head. I have opinions about Ravenloft. I took it very seriously, and my groups had a lot of fun. But especially when you tell somebody, no, this isn't a mistake. This isn't a bleed over on their eyes. This isn't an AI mistake. This is how their eyes look. They don't have whites of their eyes. They don't have eyes like we do. Their eyes are solid. Now, I used that in a book. One of the more powerful characters, you can tell she's inhuman because when she's not in disguise, she has flat green eyes. She's got a pupil, but you can see the pupil and you can see the flat green. And there is a biological reason for that. That is so. Your prey can't tell where you're looking. And which makes us funny because we changed because we used our eyes for signaling. It's one of the reasons our eyes are pretty fucking big. You know, animals have huge ass eyes, big for light gathering. Our eyes are designed the way they are. Number one, to see, but number two, for shade. With how far back they are in our skull, it's, you know, a little bit of shade. But also, we can look at something and signal to other people where to look. But to animals, you know, we've got like this laser eye system which creeps them the fuck out. Let's do a quick upload of some images. I will show you what I'm talking about. I mean, you can kind of see with that, but I chose brown, and it doesn't really show it off as well as what I'm about to do does. So we're going to upload these and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Now, even at a small size, you can see there's something wrong here. So we make it bigger. We make her bigger. Notice the difference? And I did a hack job, okay, but I mean, especially if you do their eyes match their hair. Here's another one. Yeah, you can tell already if you look at her eyes, you can already see there's something different. Now the black eyes is where it's like, wait, what? Well, you can see the difference. That's all. That's, you know, pointed ears and that star, and you say, oh, by the way, this is a gnomish girl, and people go, wait, what? Because that doesn't fit how most people think of gnomes. Now let's add another image that I grabbed it just for you guys. When I looked it up and found it just for you. And where's my dad? Sorry, listen to music, but all right. Now this is I think this is 3rd edition. But if you look, the halfling is shorter than the gnome. And I don't like this because the halfling is skinny. And halflings are stout folk, which means they're broad like dwarves. If you go a little further back in the 1st edition, you'll find that elves are about the same size as dwarves. And orcs are about the size of a half-elf. Half orcs are about the size of a half-elf. Which changes all kinds of stuff. I mean, and I don't know if you've ever seen the elves from the Hobbit, from like, that was like 1977. But I guarantee you start showing the players elves that look like this, and they're going to be like, we should really help the orcs get rid of these guys. The elves are not described as fair folk. Because remember, there's one version that lives in the Mistwood. Is it the Mistwood? No, it's not called the Mist. What the fuck was it called? God, it's been years. Mirkwood. It's called I think so. If anybody wants to check me on, hey, that's fine. Tolkien approved of these elves. All right. I mean, and you find out that he approved of these elves, and you're like, what the shit? But remember, Mirkwood is a terrible place, and the creatures that live there are all fucking bad. Okay. So here's what's his fuck who lives in Rivendell. Oh, well, fuck, he looks normal, right? And then there's this goblin adjacent motherfucker who lives in Mirkwood. I'll give him solid colored eyes. I'll guarantee you the players are gonna be like, "Oh, we gotta kill these. We gotta get together with the orcs and fucking burn these guys with fire." Yeah. Ravenloft Funhouse be like Final Destination. Yeah, kill that thing. Yeah, I mean, you throw your art, you tell me, hey, this is how your elf looks, and people will be like, fuck that. And you could say, this is what they look like when they don't live in their elven heims and they get corrupted by darkness. And people will be like, man, we gotta go see the orcs. I mean, yeah, we can't have these guys around. Because they just look wrong. Kill the men, kill the dwarves, save the gold for ourselves. I mean, because for fuck's sake, that was terrible. But, when I was a kid, that was the shit. And I did like that in the Lord of the Rings movie, they really made Gollum look like he did in Lord of the Rings movies from the 70s. And not the frog motherfucker from The Hobbit. I mean, Gollum was like, yeah, you can't convince me to keep this fucking thing alive. I'm gonna beat it to death with a rock. I'll fucking show you that, You can feel sorry for Gollum in Lord of the Rings, but if you go with his design from the 1970s Hobbit version, that right there is beat that motherfucker to death with a rock. Because, holy shit. I mean, you're like, that used to be a hobbit. No, it didn't. That was never a hobbit. Like, I don't know what the fuck that thing was. But, what the shit is that? Here's how hobbits look in my game. People are going to be like, I'll beat you to death with a rock. I mean, I hear it be like, hey. But yeah, I mean, let's see if we can find the original. I'll see if I can find the original one. But a big thing in the setting, like a lot of people give the Forgotten Realms shit. I got the original boxes over here. Like I was bitching out last time, the maps are definitely different. I did haul out my 1E maps, and they are different than what you're seeing nowadays. But hey, they completely did it. Races 1E, AD&D. Good enough. Well, I'll grab that image. Halfward looks like he's gonna. Halfward looks like he's about to fucking sexually assault somebody, but you know what? We'll let it go. But you get a lot of, oh, we don't need things like the racism in our hobby. Get out. The racial preferences table was one of the best fucking things there was for DMs. I absolutely hate the modern, all the races get along. No, go fuck yourself. All the civilized races, they get along. No. I mean, you should have it where, of course, they got rid of slavery. It's like, what's that meme? I'm going to be real with you, Chief. You've gotten rid of everything that makes you want to be a hero. And, get rid of this. Grab that. Oh, what is it they supposedly never explained? Oh, classless. Yes, they fucking did. Jesus fucking Christ. The secret logic behind these race class, there was no secret fucking logic. Why are humans unlimited? Because the game is human-centric. Deal with it. That's like, they say, oh, nobody knew about domain play. Well, if you actually, open up the DM sheet. This is my biggest arguments against nobody knew about domain play in first edition. Yeah, we did. Because when you looked at the assassin thing, and as a DM, you're like, he can't use that in the middle of combat. I'm not going to let him, And then you're like, you read into it and you find out, oh, it's for domain play. Okay. I got it now. Yeah. But, anyway, let's go back to a few things. So, if you've never, I'm gonna boot these up so you can see them, just in case you've never seen them, because I don't know. But if I was gonna make this for to sell, I would definitely be including a few things. But this is the old max. The old racial maximums. I guarantee you slap this shit down and you'll have a lot less people. Oh, this is ability score max, not level max. I didn't grab level max, my bad. But anyway, you get the idea. But is this it? Oh God, I hate fucking racial preferences. Racial preferences chart was cool, but you even had it for humanoids. If humanoids liked each other, and if you build that kind of thing for your setting, it makes a massive difference. Okay, anyway, the old thing, they had a maximum level, and they upgraded it more in the bundle of house rules called Unearthed Arcana. Anybody you see with an Unearthed Arcana who then says that they don't play with house rules, just point at it and tell them, yeah, you do. It's right. They're right there. Can't remember who it was. I was watching somebody's show, and they were talking about they don't play with house rules, and I saw behind them a book I had helped write, and I was like, "So do you use that book behind you?" He was, "Oh yeah, it's a standard in my campaign." I'm like, "Yeah, I said, "Do you use these rules?" And like, "Yeah, they're rules I like." And I was like, "Yeah, those are house rules for my home campaign that got published." Wow, you think I pissed in his fucking cereal? He fucking banned me. But anyway, these are actually decent lifespans. Your average drow, though, lives to the grand old age of stabbed in the back of the head. But what startles people is to find out that the original gnomes lived 750 years. And, see, I feel they messed up with the halflings because they went by Bilbo, and Bilbo's life was artificially extended by the ring. So I would adjust the halflings back down to about human. Human to 120. I mean, but here's the other thing. Somebody reminded me. The humans is adjusted. The humans is actually adjusted because of magic. Cure disease. Okay. Cure light wounds would stop a woman from bleeding out from a bad childbirth. A cure light wounds would be enough to close the fucking wound and keep you from bleeding out. Cure disease and prevent infection. Cure disease. I mean, this stuff. And gods are going to give these out because the gods that give this stuff out have worshippers. The gods that don't have worshippers. So apparently the water where I live is damaged because we spent millions getting rid of the Chinese algae. And they caught some Chinese chick on a tourist visa dumping a 20-gallon barrel of algae into our reservoir a couple years ago. And now we've got another algae problem. But of course, you know. Anyway, sorry. Notice it separates dwarf from mountain dwarf. Why do I think this is the wrong one? Anyway. Now, toss down some, so the high elf will live to 1600, while, this weird-looking motherfucker's gonna live to 2000. Of course, that's what he looks like when he gets close to 2000, so hey. Now, you might be wondering why I'm going on about this shit. Oh, don't... And, you know what? Throw this down in your fucking game. Throw this shit down. What's funny is the biggest... When we went to second edition, my wife and the two other women in the group threw an absolute shit fit that they removed the max strength allowable for women because they felt it was pandering. Yeah, my wife was a power lifter when she was in the military, and she was like, there are 17-year-old guys who just got a basic training that can outlift me. But don't be afraid to change the sizes. And you start doing this, and your whole fucking game changes. I mean, the eyes are, it's fucking, oh, there we go. She's fucking striking. It's a horrible fucking AI image, but still, look at that. So, you do halflings have human eyes, which is why humans don't look at halflings and go, yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to have to beat you to death with a rock. Gnomes and elves live longer because they were faithful, yeah. I do believe it was. They dropped out because they couldn't handle emotional content. They just wanted to be on stage. Yeah. D&D, D&D, you need the racism, slaves, harlots. You need all this. Because otherwise it really does mess with your game. Gola reminds me of one of the fish from the River Monsters. Yeah. Gola to the Hobbit, man. Running the coalition as a nicer, gentler protectors of humanity. Yeah, right up until my character got in there with the table is blue. Yeah, if I can't have racist dwarves, I don't want to play. Poor Fox. The table is blue. Just start waterboarding. Actually, no, I wasn't waterboarding. I was actually drowning the guy. I played a crackpot conspiracy theorist, and her backstory ended up being no racism. So yeah, hey, why not? Her pupils seem to be going in opposite directions. I don't know if I go that far. Yeah, you look at her and you're like, is she looking at anything? Yeah, I did a really bad job covering her pupils, but still, it'd be like, what the fuck? So if we, and we could say it's the Fey blood. We could say, well, actually, we could be like, it's a little bit too much of the Fey blood, so gnomes look like that. Halflings have normal eyes, that way you don't beat them to death with a rock. And all the elves but the high elves, which are the ones that interact with humans, look like old Golem's brother there. And suddenly your game has changed. Especially when you add the magical racism chart. It'll be like, oh, but Ralts, you shouldn't have racism in your game. Yeah, fuck off. Nobody gets to tell me you don't get to have racism because I'm sorry, but I've been on the internet for the last 30 years, so I know what's going on. I see you over there. Yeah. Racists don't care about their friends list. They'll be friends with anybody as long as they're racist. There it is. And you build this for your game. And a lot of people think, that this means that, some gnome that wanders into a, what? Take your allergy medicine. Mess with my wife. Let's see if we can find an A here. Elves and dwarves. They think that, if the elf goes into the dwarven restaurant, they'll spit in his food. No, but they might be fucking snide and give him one of the higher up chairs so his feet are like 3 inches off the floor. I mean, elves are not the overt racist type. They're the microaggression type, Leave your soup out until it's got that thin layer of scum on top of it, then bring it to you. They wouldn't spit in it. They're not animals. And neutral. I mean, you're goddamn right. The Beast Folk have their problems. I mean, that chart. I mean, let's face it. Do 8x8 real quick. Okay, let's see. I mean, just make this real quick. Actually, cat girl. We'll go back to this because we're just using it for an example. I'm not actually making it. Oh, damn it. Okay. Preferred. Mouse girl. Rat folk. cat folk, dog folk. Okay, number one. Cat folk and dog folk, these motherfuckers hate each other. And the mouse girls, and you need to have S for suspicion. Yeah, suspicious. Whoever was looking at the cat folk was suspicious. Well, no, we could actually put, tolerated and loved. The Uma might like everybody. Yeah. Tolerated and loved. Dogs, not so much. Stop barking at me. What? Yeah. Mouse girl, huh? Tolerate.
I'm sorry, I don't know
Preferred.
what is wrong with my...
Right.
Except that I'm getting older.
Yes.
My body's freaking out.
Oh. But I mean, then you start doing it, and that helps you build your city. Believe me, why should we do this before we start designing towns and cities? Because it's going to tell you how your towns and cities lay out. It really is. And you start adding a bit more into it, like, the humans' attitudes. Ooh, sorry. Sorry to do that in your ear. But you start adding that stuff, like max level. Like, maybe. Maybe Uma can't, get very high as fighters because of, the armor weight. They're stronger, yeah, but remember their knees have a tendency to go. Our horses, beast of burden, yeah, but I'll tell you something. I found out when we got out of the trailer park and my dad got that farm when I was 11. But she lost it playing poker. But anyway, where was I? Oh, like we learned, the ones that carry lots of weight, it blows out their hips and their knees quickly. Pulling is what draft animals do. Not donkeys carry, mules carry, but even then, But you start putting max class, max level, ability maximums. And suddenly you're still playing Pathfinder, but you're playing a different game. And you're playing a game with limitations. And you're playing a game with limitations, and you're playing a game that it's a lot harder to power mog. It's a lot harder to power game. I love power gamer. I love power gaming. I fucking love it. I love power gaming. I was a power gamer. I was good at it. I was good at being a power gamer. My paladin, I power gamed the fuck out of him. My DM loved it. Because, I was like 12 level. She's like, oh, look, a dragon. I was like, that motherfucker gonna die. I got my horse. My DM let me have a Holy Avenger. And it was funny because it has an anti-magic radius back in the day. And so I'd pop it out of the sheath so it'd kick the anti-magic radius on, and a wizard would drop back to the back so we could step out of it, which would let us advance through heavy magic. Which, really changed the combats, but made it a lot more fun, Fox could tell you I'm a fast thinker. When it comes to gaming, I'm a fast thinker. And if you're not ready for that, you are not going to like what happens. But, if I'm a fast thinker because I'm engaged in your game. But anyway, so, and the advanced Dungeons and Dragons half ogre race. Do you use it? No, I don't. I didn't use that many alternate races, and I was really restrictive on characters, you know, when I DM'd. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, the crack part archer might have derpy looking eyes. They're perfect game because the majority of the stats are in luck. Yeah. She sees everything. Yeah. Yeah, it's a game where the humans, halflings, and dwarves get along, but elves and gnomes, everybody's like, I don't trust your ass. Look, you're fey. Number one, them weird fucking eyes. Number two, look at your ears, man. Look at your fucking ears. I can tell when you're lying because your ears flap. They do not flap, they say, with their ears flapping. But see, you start doing this, and you've got a whole different game. And I mean, yes, I'm gonna waste a whole episode on races, but which will show things like I've already stated. I'm gonna do what I always do. Halflings are big on caravans and farms. The couple shires that are going to be within Ironmark produce 60% of their food, which gives the halflings tremendous political power between being the Cartier and the logistics and the food. That's a shit ton. But try to bite and bat at tails, yeah, probably. One of the first things you have to teach your kid: don't pull tails. You know. So yeah, it could change. It could change all kinds of things. I mean, who would be the ones to raise sheep? Dog boys. Dog boys that raise sheep. Specifically certain breeds. But who raises pigs? Think about that one. You want to know who'd be a big pig raiser? Dwarves. They don't mind the mud. They don't mind the muck. You know? You could change the entire ecosystem of the game. Not make it unrecognizable, but make it unique with your treatment of the races. And that's before you get into vegetation. I mean, and yeah, I told you, making Ironmark, we're going to go full autist, right? We're going to get down to what common insects, what common plants, what common berries, what common trees, what common crops are grown in Ironmark. Ironmark is one of the regions that is actually rare. Okay, I hate modern dwarven holds. You know, they've got a dwarf hold the size of a couple cubic city blocks, and they have everything they need in the world for metal. That's not how metal works. That's not how geology works. So you have a choice. You can say that the dwarven god placed the metal in big fucking clumps like it's fucking Minecraft, or you can change the dwarf holds. You know, if you make it where dwarves have an uncanny metal sense, and granted to them by their god, their priest do, and their priest metal sense, they're going to be in the hills and they're going to be in the mountains. They're going to be after coal, specifically anthracite. Bauxite burns badly, and then you've got the peat coals, and then the other shit, the soft coals, are absolute crap. Back when I was younger, anthracite was actually cheaper. Anthracite is damn near like glass, and it burned so fucking clean. It was the shitty coal like you found in England. Bauxite coal like you found in England that suited everything up. But we'll get into that, and we're going to make it so that the dwarf holds each have a different metal. Copper and tin can be found together. Guardian livestock dogs will defend the herd against a herding dog because they were raised with the herd. Interesting, I didn't know that. And we're going to go down and we're going to make Ironmark into something different. I mean, there's nobody really close to it. There's nobody really close to it, but they're still under threat. But, because, you know, we have your not Celts, your crazy kobolds, the not Aztecs. Can you imagine kobolds following the Aztec gods? Kobolds are fucking crazy anyway. You know, the lizard ones, the lizard dragon ones are absolute fucking nutcases. You know, yeah, they follow the great feathered serpent. Yeah, no shit. You know, or worse yet, you got some big fucking red dragon sitting on top of the pyramid watching them sacrifice, you know, dozens a day. Yeah, it's just, we're going to try to put it both with logic and fantasy. So we're going to have these races. Where the beast races come from, I don't care. No, we do. Look at it. Probably there was probably a god that made them. And then we're going to say that the god either got snapped, or he got his shit pushed in, or he abandoned them as not good enough, which would be the ultimate fuck you. They weren't good enough. They displeased him. They weren't good enough. And but yeah, you can make your own setting, and you can make it yours with the smallest of tweaks. And yes, a max level thing is not a small tweak, it's a big tweak. But what you do is you tell your players beforehand, these are the max levels. And then you tell them flat out. You look at them, you tell them flat out, no, NPCs do not have to generally follow this. Because in each dwarf hold there will be a 15th level priest. Deal with it. They're NPCs. You're not. That's how it goes now. But anyway, I need to get off here. My throat's raw. So it was a good spend a little time on Sunday with you. Worships the DVD equivalent of Quetzalcoatl. Yeah. Oh yeah. Worship the deity equivalent of Quetzalcoatl. Or, you know, let's bring Tiamat back and they worship her. You know, they fucking worship Tiamat. We'll bring her big 5-headed ass back. You know, and they worship her and they sacrifice to her. And you can divide up the kobolds by their 5 colors, so you have 5 different nations, and you can give them Olmec, Aztec, Toltec. Yeah. Vast underground networks travel through manual rail carts because the mines are actually going to have to be spread out. You don't find copper near iron. You don't find manganese near tin. And we're gonna look that up and we're gonna apply it. You know, I think next week we'll do dwarves, and that involves geology. That'll be fun. We'll do the 2 different dwarves, the hill dwarves and the mountain dwarves. And the thing is they can't look down. The mountain dwarves can't look down on the hill dwarves because there's some shit that you have to get from the hills. Dwarves and elves. Hill dwarves and elves have problems because dwarves would strip mine if given the chance. Orcs picked it up from the dwarves. And if you really want to make things iffy, it's not uncommon to go to a hill dwarf area and find orcish slaves. So yeah. Anyway, everybody have a good week. I'll see you guys Tuesday. Take it easy.